Welcome to Rogers Park. This is hole 1, and I have a new swing style. I took some lessons. I've had like 1.5 lessons, and it's a little foreign to me, but I've had the swing work well at times and horrible other times. It's not going as far as I used to hit on probably average, but I guess I'm not going as OB as I was. Okay, so I came up a little short of the green, but I'll take that. My chips, not good, but that was actually an okay one. Generally, you want to get your chips a lot closer than that. And of course, I got to get robbed. Wow, that was brutal. I could have got a par out of that. Oh well. We'll take a bogey and move on. Yeah, this drive swing, it just feels so foreign to me. I feel like it helps keep the ball in bounds many times, but it's just so foreign. And, you know, I hit the fairway again on this one, so that's good. My approach shots today, you will see, are pretty good. I mean, they get me close. Even if they don't get me on, they don't put me in tremendous trouble. And then it's just a matter of chipping and putting. And honestly, that was a pretty good chip. I wanted it to roll a little bit more to the left, but, you know, it left me like about a 10-footer maybe, 15-footer. That's kind of a bad putt. I don't know if you saw it. The ball jump off my club face there. And, of course, I didn't play it high enough on the hole. But 2 putts, whatever. Bogey, moving on. This hole in number 7, I always hook left. I cannot figure out why. This went left as well, but it's safe. But I've hit a number of balls into the like woods and OB area there that are just unretrievable. This one's safe, and I'm just going to chip it out onto the fairway with my 4-iron. Whoops, that was too big of a swing. And through the fairway. No bueno. Still, not a bad shot, actually. It actually left me with a good approach to the hole. And this shot actually was really, really good. Put me about, what is that, 6 feet from the hole, 7 feet? And whee! All right, how you doing? Nice little 1 putt for a par. I'll take that. You know, this lineup I do for my drive, it's just so foreign to me. If you saw, I hit that about like maybe 16 inches behind the ball. The ball went about 50 yards. Now, this shot, spoiler alert, is fine. I just couldn't see it. It went to the left, hit a tree, so I hit a provisional just in case. And, of course, I fatted the provisional. It didn't go very far. So this is the second shot on the provisional just to get me up to the area where I hit the other ball. And that shot was like a rocket. That was like probably one of the longest 4-iron shots I've hit. That thing almost made the green from there, and I was probably 215 out. And this is my original ball that I found, so right here I'm lying too. And that was another good approach shot. Probably a little bit thick, a little bit fat. But I'll take that right in the middle of the throat of the, you know, the fairway here. Now that pitch was kind of lame. I ended up going over the green surface here. I think I'm on the fringe there putting, although I think I might have counted that as a putt. And of course I over putted because I'm bad at putting downhill. So there's a good chance I'm going to 3-putt this with the one that was on the fringe. Oh yeah, there you go. That's typical Fran right there. Close, but no cigar. So if you look at my stance, he's got my stance wider. I feel like I'm twisted all kind of weirdly. And I feel like I'm swinging just odd. It's just going to take some time. I'm going to have to go to the range. The interesting thing about this drive is it literally landed 3 feet in a 3-foot circle where I hit my ball the other day in this exact same hole. And this approach shot, being that I had to go around a tree, under a tree, essentially, was extremely good. Again, just in the throat of the fairway there. Okay, this is kind of a flaw in my game. You know, I'm pointed way to the right because of the way I've taught myself to chip, which isn't good. I think that came up way short. Left me a long putt, and I did not read that well. Speed probably, a little too fast, not terrible. But, a bogey for all that. I'll take it and I'll move on. Okay, this is the first par 3 at Rogers, and that was a pretty good shot. Did I make the green? Oh, yes, I did. Hey, how you doing? Green in regulation. Take that. And that putt was actually pretty darn good. I mean, speed-wise, obviously, I misread how far to the right I should have putted it, but oh well. I'll take that. That's a par. I'm not a huge birdie getter. Sometimes I can get them, but not often. This hole has been death for me. I have blocked my shot, pulled it, whatever you want to call it. I guess it's a pull. Pull hook, straight OB to the left. Every freaking time. This time, I'm safe in the roots of a tree. So I take my 1 club length drop. However, when I took it, I couldn't remember if it was 2 for a drop like that when you're taking a penalty stroke, or 1. And I always forget that you get 2 club lengths when you're taking a stroke penalty. It's only 1 club length if it's a free drop. So again, that was a good approach shot. That could save my bacon right there, on something where I had to take a penalty, and that was a pretty good putt. Almost turned in. Well, a double where I had to take a penalty, again, that's something I'll take all day. If you can double when you get a penalty, that's pretty good. For me, anyway. This is another par 3. And I kind of figured out a new way to hit my irons. I've been choking down on them, and they haven't been going as high. But when I choke down on them, they fly straight, almost straight as an arrow, really. And I ended up on the green, so another green in regulation. Obviously, I would have liked to be a little closer, but hey, whatever. And again, I misread it again. I'm low on the left side. I should be hitting it higher on the right. That's a couple times now I've done that. I'm going to have to figure out what my eyes are seeing. But that's another par. Coming up on the 9th hole at Rogers. This is another hole that I typically go left. I don't know what it is. I go left a lot anyway, but there's some holes that I go hard left. And this one is one I went hard left. Well, not hard left, but that's like I'm essentially in the other fairway, or the other fairway is rough anyway. And I'm just going to kind of chip it through those 2 trees. It was actually, I probably should have played it more laterally. I ended up going too far anyway. So now I'm in this little sand crap wasteland stuff. It's hard to hit out of that stuff. I don't really like it, but I just decided to play it to like, I think 100 yards. Do a layup and take my medicine. Of course I landed in a divot. That's nice. You gotta like that. Hey, look at that little sand pop out of there. It's almost like I was in a mini trap. And again, I came up short again. But one thing about today, if you've noticed so far, every time I've come... By the way, that was a super excellent chip. Look how close that was. Blink. How you doing? Alright, a bogey after all that. Take it. Now this time, I hit this tree over on the right. That one that's hanging over the cart path. Look at it. Pow. I don't know what the heck I did there, but that ball was definitely slicing to that tree. The ball's okay, but I have a long ways to go. And I had to go look up there to see if I was safe, and I couldn't tell if there's people there. And I'm just kind of nervous because I feel like I'm still hitting into people. But I went and hit anyway, and I should have just went up further and looked. So then I ended up hitting it into the trap. And here, basically, I just tried to set myself up with a nice approach shot, you know, put myself in the, like a 60 degree or a 56 degree wedge. I'm not sure how far away I was. I might have been anywhere from pitching wedge in on that one. And I went over. That kind of sucked. And I went too far that way. Alright, so now I'm kind of rushing too because I got people coming up behind me. The people in front of me were playing slow all day. But I've played okay. That, you know, the pace of my pace hasn't been bad, but I'm just, when I start rushing, I start to have issues. Plus walking and carrying your bag, you know, that takes a toll. So that's the first kind of bad hole I've had. That was a triple. Okay, this is 11. It's par 4. I hit that nowhere. That was another kind of topped ball. Went, you know, 50 yards maybe. This is my 4-iron. This was a good 4-iron though. I mean, kind of ripped it. Ended up down the middle. And gave me a, you know, a pretty good shot where I could use a wedge. Or a shorter iron anyway. I think this one went a little left. Let's see where it ended up. I can't remember. Oh, no, what? No, it was in the throat. I keep, you know what? All day today, when I've mishit or came up short or whatever, it's just been right there in the throat, right on the, you know, that fairway right before the green. I guess if you can do that, you can break 100. Wow, I gotta tell you, that was a good putt from there. And that was a bogey. Man, that's good. I feel like, though, if that putt missed, it would have gone like 5 feet past. So this is still that choked up long iron. This is probably a 5-iron. And I feel like this was a good shot. Yeah, once I switched up, yeah, again, right in the throat. You know, came up a little short, but I'm putting these because I'm trying to protect my score. You know, I'm not a great chipper at this point, so I'm like, why put the ball in the air? Oh, that's a shame. That was a good putt. It just turned at the last second. Again, I'm just not good at reading those, but a bogey, not terrible. We'll take it. Okay, here's where the wheels on the bus start to come off. Again, it usually happens when I end up having to wait for people a long time. I get out of rhythm. This ball looked good, but I couldn't tell, so I went ahead and hit a provisional. This one did not look as good. So I went ahead and put that club away, grabbed my 4-iron, hit a second provisional. That was straight down the fairway. That was like a great 4-iron shot. So as I was walking up to my 4-iron shot, I could see that there was a ball safe. And I walked up to it, and that was my ball. So my original ball was found, and I'm lying 1. You can disregard all the provisionals. And right here, I'm just going to kind of chip it out, pitch it out, get myself back in the fairway and give myself a fighting chance. Okay, it's a pretty good shot. Probably came up a little fat, or short, just because it was a little fat. But let's see. Oh, on the green. Can't argue with that. There's another ball that jumped off my club face. I gotta figure out why it's doing that. Or maybe it's supposed to do that. I don't know. That was not a good putt, though. Neither of those were. And that was a rushed putt. That's just me rushing. That's just stupid. Now here's a case of me taking the positive tact on this. You know, I 3-putted, but in the grand scheme of things, if I didn't find my original ball, I easily could have been, you know, that could have easily been a 9 or a 10 hole. Now, here's a hole where I did something really stupid considering how good I was playing. This ball goes to the left over water. I go there all the time. Well, I could go up there about 70, 80 yards in front of the water and take a drop and play over the water very easily. I could hit over the water with my 60-degree wedge in that place. But I decided to play it again with a 4-iron. And this time I went to the right. Now, to the right is a lateral. It's all marked as red on the ground. There's a red spray paint. I could have walked up there and taken my stroking distance. So I went into the right lateral hazard again with that third ball. So I went ahead and taken my stroking distance with that one, which means I was lying 6. It was 1 into the water, 2 for the penalty, 2 into that lateral, or 3 into the lateral, 4 for the penalty, 5 into the lateral, 6 was that drop right there. And then I just used the shot to get me to about 200, or maybe it was like 250. I don't even remember. Actually, I think it was like 250. This was a super lucky shot. I went left, and I just barely got. Well, I mean, I didn't just barely get over the water. I got over the water, hit a tree, and it dropped straight down there. But look how close. It could have dropped right in the water. There, I just chipped out. That should be, I think, a 9 right there. And then this is 10. And 10 was very good. That saved my bacon, really. And couldn't give me that. And that's for a 12. 3 penalties, 2 putts. Wow. So at Rogers, 14 and 15, this par 3 and the last par 5 are really the only ones that have water in play. There's other holes that have water on the side, but those are the only 2 you kind of have to hit over water. Came up short there, but whatever. Pitch it on. Let's put this in. Let's make this happen here. You know what? Okay. Let's try 2 putts. If you don't hit this in, you fat bastard. Okay. All right. That was good. Because I'm running out of strokes. I have an 83. So essentially I have 16 strokes, and I have 16, 17, and 18 to play. Theoretically, that's 12 strokes if you can par them all. But as you can see, I don't par a lot, so Alright, this drive was okay, went left, but had some distance, so it allowed me, you know, kind of like a pitch and wedge, I think, in my pitch and wedge, I know on this one and another one, came up real short. I'm thicking them. This is a pitch and wedge I bought off eBay. It is not the exact match for my set. It's actually longer. It's like an inch longer, so... but to be quite honest with you, even if it comes up short, it still kind of helps because without it, I was really getting hammered by my scores. That was a horrible attempt at a putt. That was just ugly. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's put up a 3 right there. Yeah, that was horrible. That was just stupid. Now I just gave up 2 strokes. So I had... What'd I say I had? 16 strokes to work with, and I just used up 6. This was the best drive of the day for me. It was into the first cut, I think, but it was pretty long. It was 250, and I was pretty much hitting 220 with my drives because of this new swing. This is my pitch and wedge again, and Fat City. Oh, so pissed. I'm so mad right now, you don't even understand. I'm watching this 99 slip away. Thank you, 60-degree, spin-milled, oiled, whatever the hell you're called, Cleveland wedge, because that right there may have just saved my bacon. Without that, I'm looking at being probably at least a double bogey. Oh my gosh, and I putted in. That's huge for me. I thought I was going to get a bogey on this and only have, you know, 1 stroke to really deal with, but as it stands, I have 2 strokes. So I can get a 6 on this, essentially. Oh my gosh, I just hit a horrible drive. I hit this thing like 50 yards. It was awful. Okay, thank God my 4 came to play. My 4 was good. I hit it to about 160 yards. Now, I should be using a 7 here. I decided to go with an 8. I have a tree to hit over on the left side that overhangs. But I'm going to just take this to be short. If it's short, big deal. I don't care. It was not short. This was like the best 8-iron I've hit from 160 something yards. I ended up on the green. I have 3 strokes to work with now. But I want to get this in 1. Let's hit this. There we go. Right in. Oh, you son of a bitch. Okay. Okay, don't get nervous. Slow down. You got 2 strokes to work with here. Just get it in on this one. There. Oh, come. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. We're at 98. Oh, just get in the hole. Get me out of here. Whew. That was a chore. But I did it. Whew. All right. Well, hope you guys enjoyed that. See you next time.